Ahi ahi Māori e tamariki mā. Quite often at the end of school we have a nice story together, don't we? So let's do that today. 3 bags full. Millie was very, very kind. She tried not to squash flowers, and she tried not to tread on anyone smaller than herself. One warm spring morning, Millie was skipping around in her field, feeling happy. She sniffed a yellow flower and almost sat on a bird. "I'm looking for a nice piece of wool to line my nest," said Bird. "Have some of mine," said Millie. "Oh, I don't mind if I do," said Bird, and pulled off a clump that was hanging down. "I'm also looking for a nice clump for my nest," said Badger, who seemed to have appeared from nowhere. "Help yourself," said Millie. "And me," begged Rabbit. "You too," said Millie, and rubbed herself against a tree so that they could each get a nice clump of wool. Soon all her wool was gone. "Look at you," said Elmer, who was a sensible sheep. "Imagine giving away your good coat. You look like a goat now." But Millie was happy. She hopped and skipped and hopped higher than before because she felt as light as a feather without her heavy woolen coat. But that night it snowed. Large cold flakes landed on Millie's bare back and made her shiver. Bird wasn't cold. Badger wasn't cold. Rabbit wasn't cold either. But Millie was very, very cold. Poor Millie. "You can stay up here in the tree with me," said Bird. But Millie couldn't climb trees. "You are welcome in my set," said Badger. But Millie was too big to crawl into Badger's set. She peered into Rabbit's warren and sighed. It was too crowded in there already. "No problem," said a sly fox. "Stay with me. I like goats." "I'm not a goat," bleated Millie, and ran off. When Mrs. Farmer saw Millie, she sighed. "I wanted that wool to knit a nice jumper," she said. "It's lucky that I still have some wool left over from last year." That night, Millie slept in Mrs. Farmer's warm kitchen. She dreamt that she was a goat. Clickety-click went Mrs. Farmer's knitting needles all night long. By morning, Mrs. Farmer had knitted a sweater for Millie. It was green with yellow flowers and red hearts, and it fitted her perfectly. Millie skipped back into the field. She was warm again. But there was a strand of wool hanging down the back of her new sweater. And as she tried to pull it off, the sweater unravelled itself a little. "I could use a piece of green wool," said Bird. "Help yourself," said Millie. She's so kind. What do you think would happen next? You guessed it. One more to finish. Knock, knock. Who's there? Knock, knock. Who's there? Come in, if you dare. A giant asleep with a teddy bear. Knock, knock. Who's there? Come in, if you dare. Monsters playing musical chairs. Knock, knock. Who's there? Come in, if you dare. Witches combing their beautiful hair. That witch reminds me of someone. I wonder who it could be. Knock, knock. Who's there? Come in, if you dare. Ghosts on a roundabout at the fair. Knock, knock. Who's there? Come in, if you dare. Wolves blowing bubbles in the air. Knock, knock. Who's there? Come in, if you dare. A dragon licking ice cream in his lair. What an amazing dragon. Knock, knock. Who's there? Come in, if you dare. To a great big party for you to share. Look at all the lovely, delicious things to eat. And the balloons. And the party hats. I think when lockdown is finished, we should have a big party when we go back to school. Wouldn't that be fun? Thank you to everyone who read for me today and chatted on video chat. It was really lovely. I had a lovely day and I hope you did too. See you tomorrow.